Hi everyone, I'm Alexey from Sydney Visa. The topic of this video is rather philosophical. Today we are going to talk about when to make a decision to immigrate or not to immigrate to Australia, and when to start the immigration process. To begin with, I would like to draw your attention to the fact that the decision to immigrate and the actual relocation might be as far apart on the timeline as 3 to 12 years. However, in our practice we observe numerous occasions when people made the relocation decision before even obtaining a right to do so. And today, in this video, we are going to cover exactly that. Here in Sydney Visa we view an immigration process not as a swapping process when we simply swap one situation to another. We view an immigration process and an acquisition when we acquire something in addition to what we already have, earning as an extra degree of freedom and flexibility. Misunderstanding of that immigration process leads to inability to make a sound decision about the preparatory steps. Many people associate documents preparation stage with relocation. Technically speaking, if you have started your immigration process and are collecting the documents to go through skills assessment, this stage may take up to 1 year. Another lengthy stage is finding nomination, which also might take a year. In other words, it will take anywhere between 2 and 2.5 years before you acquire a right to relocate to Australia. Once you have this right, you must understand that this is not your obligation, it's your right, which means that you may further defer your relocation for a few years if needed. Most people, however, view initial stage as relocation stage and make a decision to relocate based on their current circumstances, not based on their future circumstances. Current situation and motivation might differ from that in 5 or 7 years' time. Most clients take into consideration only their current family situation, employment general mood, and do not extrapolate it their future. To sum up, I would like to stress once again that the initiation of the legal immigration process to obtain the right to immigrate and the actual immigration are two different processes. We realize that you may have many doubts, might be lacking English or not have enough work experience. We always recommend to commence the legal immigration process. If you have any perspective today, it might not be there tomorrow. That is practically true when it comes to the businessmen. For example, many foreign businessmen during the last 3 or 4 years have lost some of their assets. Those of them who actually started the immigration process 3 or 4 years ago have by now acquired a right to immigrate to Australia and can now choose where to live and where to work. Those of them who were uncertain and didn't make the immigration decision then not only didn't acquire the right to immigrate, but most of them cannot also start the immigration program as their situation has changed dramatically. Some lose their assets, some do not have any normal formal qualification, some aged, some didn't learn any English. Therefore, if you are thinking about immigration and your chances were assessed positively, we recommend to commence your immigration process. So why are people delaying the commencement of the immigration process? We have summarized the most common reasons, among which are the following. First one: I don't need to immigrate, I simply need to work in Australia for a while. How can you possibly work in Australia without obtaining a suitable visa first? You have to obtain this visa and then look for a job and compete with other candidates, including Australians. So you have to get a visa first, come to Australia, find a job, work for a while, and then you may leave. Second one, I'm waiting for a favorable law change in Australia. Also not a very solid reason. If you start your immigration program today, based on a current legislation, you will always be able to amend your action plan later in accordance with the new law. Number 3, I'm waiting for English test result. This is the most common reason. The immigration process can be started even if you do not have an English certificate, IELTS certificate, as many skills assessment organizations do not require one. Even some that require such a certificate, such as, for example, Engineers Australia, basically give you time to prepare for the exams. From our experience, it takes a lot of time to write engineering episodes, and this time can be also used for the exam preparation. Another one, I am waiting for the occupation to appear on the list. The thing is that a list gets modified several times per year, and it's not uncommon for a state to open a nomination and due to high demand close it 24 hours later. To be in a position to wait for occupation to appear on the list, you have to be ready, and that includes having positive skill assessment and IELTS certificate and registered expression of interest. 5.1. I have a health issue, or I had a conviction in the past. Those reasons can be valid, however, there is no way to predict what decision will be made in your case, and nobody will be able to guarantee you the outcome. Your doubts can be eliminated only by a medical commission, and only then you will know the outcome. If you do not embark on the immigration process, you will never know what would happen if you did. I would like to say once again, do not make your relocation decision today based on your current circumstances. Circumstances will change, but the opportunity to be able to choose where to live and where to work may be missed. This concludes our video for today. Stay safe.